Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed, and we're brought to you by ARIA Health, your friends and neighbors here in Bucks County, as they are prepared to serve you when you are in need of help. Well, as you know, Pennsbury, of course, moving on in the District 1, the Quad A playoffs into the quarterfinal round. And of course, Pennsbury, being the higher seed once more, is going to be here at home for this ball game tonight. And of course, they'll be taking on Garnet Valley in this contest. Pennsbury last week, well, that was one for the ages. I hadn't seen a ball game like that ever. And I was talking, of course, to, after the game, one of our stars of the ball game, Chuck Snorway, and I told him I had also never seen anybody score 7 touchdowns in a ball game either, or have a game like we have. But I'll tell you one thing, as the game went along, I was enjoying it more and more. I don't know about the coaches. They probably weren't, because the way things were going, you didn't know how things were going to happen. But I think as a fan and as someone who is, I like to see points put up on the board, and I enjoyed that ball game, 63-55. Coach, I don't know how you were going along with that ball game as it was going on, but I, for one, was enjoying it.
I was just, much like our defense in the fourth quarter, just fatigued, waiting for the game to get over. That was pretty much it. I give Downingtown credit. They came and, they battled the whole time with us, obviously. And so I guess from the fans' standpoint, if you're watching the game, it was a good game. I looked at our team and I said, we still think our guys, still did what they had to do to gut out the win, and that's the important thing. You move on to the next week, and you move on to your next opponent.
I think that's the biggest thing of all when you look at it, and somebody can put up numbers like that. And of course, your team hadn't had 100 points scored on them all year, and to have 55 scored on you. But no, you got a good enough ball club to come back and win a game like that. It's got to feel good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think we were pretty much winning the whole game.
They were playing catch up most of the
time. Yeah, and no, I mean our guys did what they needed to do. We kept scoring. We probably scored too quickly. I think we ran 44 offensive plays and had 63 points and over 600 yards in offense, and 500 yards, 500 plus rushing.
Right.
And of course Charles had over 400 himself.
Yeah.
To go along with those 7 touchdowns. They ran like 80-70 offensive plays versus our 44. So, you're talking double.
Yeah, right.
Double the offensive plays. So, it was a long night for the defense, especially. It was a long fourth quarter for the defense, I just got into a situation, I think, where they, where we were having difficulty getting a pass rush. The kids were tired in the fourth quarter. I think fatigue set in. And, I talked to the kids after the game. I said, really, you played 10 and a half weeks of good defense. You could even say 10 and 3/4. Because that last quarter kind of got out of control there. But I would say those things happen. They don't happen very often. Right. But, you just chalk it up to something unusual, and you move on to the next week.
Yeah, I thought I was looking at the WAC conference here for a while.
I didn't even know if they could keep pace with us.
The way that game was going. But Coach, one of the things you did, and of course you had a couple of guys nicked up a little bit, and tell us about that move to wind up going a lot of I formation this time around because of the fact that you had a little bit of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, we were missing 2 of our backs. The wing T takes 3 backs. It's a 3-back offense. You need 2 halfbacks and a fullback. At this point in the year, we've been playing really 4 guys for those 3 positions, and 2 of the players were out, Dalton Hose and Victor Delgado, which left us with 2 backs, and so you're 1 back short is really what it comes down to. So we decided to go with, decided to put Charles in the I, and and that's what we did, and he obviously it paid off some pretty good dividends at the game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, your son there, Luke, was doing a tremendous job opening those holes for him to get underway and get those things started. And I was watching him, and he's a tough kid. I look at him and Delgado as 2 of the toughest guys you have on this ball club. And they're guys who play defense, so they know what toughness is all about. And I really think that was the other big move that you made there, not only going to the eye, but you put someone like your son in there who's really a guy who really loves this game and plays it with his whole heart every ball game and plays every play that way. And he just smothered people.
Well, we asked him to do a lot the other night, and I think he played 131 snaps, which is a lot of snaps of football for one game. And but he did a nice job for us. And you know, you got to do what you got to do this time of year. I know we're in a lot better position going into this game. Delgado's back, Hose is back, Joe Mauer, who is someone who has played very well for us in the D-line, and someone who probably could have generated a lot of pass rush for us in that fourth quarter in particular. You know, they're all back. So, you know, we do what we have to do and move on to the next game. And I know the boys are excited for the next challenge. But, yeah, that was a game you probably won't see again. You've been doing the Pennsbury games
since
a long
1966.
time, and you've never seen a Pennsbury game like that.
No.
That's definitely the most amount of points ever scored on Falcon Field.
And you can say you were involved, you were the head coach of that one, because you're not going to see many like that either, and be involved in any more games like that. But one of the things I wanted to mention too is your son, of course, when he lost that fumble down there near the goal line, but I knew what the reasoning for that was, and I knew it hurt him to do that, but it was the fact that he had to wear that mitt again.
Right.
It's almost like I saw him mentioning, and like he wished he had it off, you know, because that's it's tough to hold on to the ball when you've got something like that. Even if you're using two hands, that's not, you know, part of your hand there, that mitt that's around it.
Right, and we tried to call the play. You know, I think he had 3 carries. And he caught a pass with it.
Yeah.
But we tried to call the play when they were their defensive tackles. You know, at that stage they knew we were running a lot of off tackle sweeps with Snorways, so they actually gave us like tackles outside our guards to both sides. So the middle was open. So we figured, hey, you know, give it one shot there to squeeze through. And to their credit, they kind of one of their backers kind of beat one of our blockers quick down in the hole and got the shot on him. But you know, he wasn't using the box. It's actually a heavy bag glove. So he wasn't using that this week. He was actually wearing a glove, like he
had a glove.
This week he
but he wasn't comfortable with that. I don't think as comfortable as he.
No, he said he came over. He said, "Don't give me the ball again." He was so ticked off that he fumbled. You know what I mean? He was very disappointed.
Well, I thought really, I was hoping he would get in and get it, because he deserved it after all the blocking he did for Snorway that night.
Well, he likes the block. You know, he doesn't mind that. He likes the block. So, you know, but like I said, we got our other guys back. You know, Delgado's back, and you know, so we're planning on using Victor. On offense in that spot. So, you know, we're looking forward to this week. You know, like as you said, Delgado's a very tough player too. You know, that way we can, you know, we can kind of save our resources on both sides of the ball and not have to exhaust them. And I think we'll be in a better position.
Yeah, when I look at it and see what this team has done, one of the things, of course, if Garnet Valley is looking at you in this ball game and saying, well, we know what they're going to do. One of the things that you were able to spare your quarterback. I mean, he didn't have to show anything. He didn't have to throw anything if he didn't want to, really, because of the fact that the ground game was going so well.
Yeah, I mean, we came into the game intending to throw a little bit, you know, Mike, because Mike is an asset that way. Mike's a skilled passer. And it's, you know, when we were...
when it's going like that.
You know. So, actually, when we stalled out, the one drive we stalled out early in the game down by our own goal line, we went 3 plays and out, which is it's our only punt of the game. Only punt of the game was down. The next series we came out and threw right away with Mike, and he completed the pass, and it went well. But, you know, we'll see. I think we're going to see a little bit more of this game. You know, I think we're ready. You know, I think, you know, I think Mike's a very skilled player, as I said. We're going to try to take advantage of that.
Yeah, you can probably, because they'll be looking after seeing this last film. They're really 90% looking for the ground game. You'll probably shock them here and there. We're going to be back with more here on the Galen Snyder Show right after these messages.
The ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute is redefining care in Center City and South Jersey. And our 50,000 square foot location on ARIA Health's Bucks campus in Langhorne features private rooms, free parking, and nearby hotels. With over a century of experience, the world-class 3Bs, Doctors Booth, Bartolozzi, Balderston, and their partners personally guide you from treatment through recovery. For all your orthopedic needs, call 1-888-ORTHO-3B or visit aria3bortho.org. At the ARIA 3B Orthopedic Institute, you come first.
If you are looking for a car, where do you go? Faulkner Auto Group at 4427 Street Road in Trevose is where to go for the best deals in Bucks County for all your new pre-owned cars, trucks, or SUVs. Go to Faulkner Auto Group. It's always Faulkner, to be sure. Go online to faulknerautogroup.com. Just remember, it's Faulkner, to be sure, for all your new cars or trucks. 4427 Street Road in Trevose. Faulkner, to be sure.
Hi, this is Congressman Mike Fitzpatrick, and I hope you're enjoying tonight's game. As we gear up for another campaign here in the 8th Congressional District, there are some things that always remain the same, and that's remembering where you came from. I'm proud to say that I was born and raised here in Lower Bucks and attended local schools. That's why I will never forget our community's needs, and will continue to fight for programs like help for flood victims along the Neshaminy Creek, preserving historic land and open space, and bringing the National Veterans Cemetery to Bucks County. As your congressman for the 8th Congressional District, I can promise you one thing, that I will never forget my roots. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy tonight's game. Paid for by Fitzpatrick for Congress.
Landolfi's Deli in Yardley at 90 West Afton Avenue in the Yardleyville Square. This beautiful new eat-in deli and restaurant is open 7 days from 8 a.m., serving breakfast, eggs, omelet, breakfast sandwiches, even breakfast burritos. And of course, Landolfi's famous hoagies, specialty sandwiches, panini sandwiches, and fresh deli wraps. Landolfi's Deli at 90 West Afton Avenue open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sundays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call 215-321-4590.
Hi, this is Merrill Reese, and since 1986, McCaffrey's Supermarket has been a real supermarket experience and a very proud member of our community. Through good times and bad times, Jim McCaffrey and his family have been there to assist our neighbors when they needed help, whether it's helping flood victims, raising funds for the American Cancer Society, or supporting the local Little League teams. You can count on McCaffrey's to be there. McCaffrey Supermarkets, 635 Heacock Road in Yardley, in the village of Newtown, at 2890 South Eagle Road, and also in Princeton and West Windsor.
The Pennsbury Football Parents Club reminds you to come out and support the Falcons. They'll be selling Pennsbury football merchandise at every home game. And if you can't make it out to the game, remember you can listen to it live on 1490 AM WBCB or watch the Falcons video stream live every game at WBCB1490.com.
And welcome back to the Galen Snyder Show, as we're brought to you by Aria Health, your friends and neighbors here in Lower Bucks County. We talked about a couple of people on the ball club so far. Another guy that we talked to after the ball game, because I thought he did a really good job filling in there as well, was Shante Rumpf. Had himself really a good ball game. He was really a one guy who was really tough there on McNulty most of the night. He was a guy that really, I think, coming in when you needed somebody like that, came in and did an extremely good ball game.
Yeah, Shante, Shante's a really good athlete, tough kid, and he was a soccer player up until last year, and that was his first year playing football. He's fast, explosive athlete. He's just getting him to learn football for the first time.
Right.
And being able, he's really come along this year to where he's become a real good player for us, and so he was providing some pass rush to us. He did a real nice job there, and another guy I want to mention, and he just does a tremendous job week in and week out for us is Austin O'Neill.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, I like to call him like a one-man gang. I mean, he'll block one guy and knock him flat on the ground, go upfield and find another guy and knock him flat on the ground. I mean, he's probably set a record for like big hits and pancakes this year for the Falcons. I mean, he if there's a better offensive lineman in the district, I'd be hard pressed to find one. He's really been a tremendous player for us.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Of course, your guys have done a really good job this entire season. One little loss there along the way, but you got the chance to redeem yourself there and also hold on to the championship in the Suburban One League National Conference for the third year in a row. Let's look at this ball club coming in here. What do you see? Have you seen film of this ball club or had anybody down there to view what they've been doing here, Garnet Valley, as of late?
Well, Garnet Valley is they're a physical team. They're an extremely well-coached team. They're going to play well defensively. They're going to be coached up. Their techniques are going to be very sound. Offensively, they run a triple option. And when I say that they run an option, they don't run a ton of triple, but they run like there's two classifications of like option styles. There's the old school,
Right.
which is teams that run midline and veer, and they can run them. That's what Garnet Valley is, and that's what like Navy is, and like Georgia Tech, those types of schools. But they run it from a shotgun, so they'll run that style from a shotgun,
Right.
and they'll mix in some power football with that. Similar in that vein to a Council Rock South.
Yeah.
As opposed to the newer version of the option, which is the Oregon and what Chip Kelly does,
Right.
and what a lot of West Virginia did, which is the zone reading, which is a different type of option that employs running an inside zone play with a reading of the backside
Right.
ends, which is a little bit different. It's a slightly different. So these guys are more of the old school type of option from a shotgun, though, which makes them look a little bit more new school. But it's really veer and midline. Some of the things that like the Bettisons would run when they were in the wishbone.
Exactly.
But it's just they put a little bit different twist on it to make it look a little more new school.
Yeah. And when you take a look at it, of course, their fullback, which in that kind of a setup, the fullback gets a lot of carries, and he's been the guy who's gotten a lot of carries for them, and really leading them as far as that goes is their fullback and their quarterback.
Right, he's actually like an I-back, because they're in a pistol.
Right.
So the quarterback and the I-back are the guys, and then they have sort of two halfbacks who, if they put
They
the
offset
formation,
a little bit?
Yeah, if the formation's to the one side, they'll have an offset back there, and they'll be in the pistol.
Yeah.
And then if they go to the other side, the other back will offset and
Right.
be in the pistol, and the other guy will be like in a slot or something like that. So they kind of seem to have like a left and a right, sort of like we do.
Yeah.
And then the fullback and quarterback are the main ball carriers.
Right. And we're going to see a lot of that, of course, come tonight with this ball game coming up. And of course, Pennsbury is looking to see if they can move on, and whoever wins this game gets into the semifinals. So this is a deep run. Nicely, if you get this victory here, you're moving into the semis in the district, and that would be a feather in anybody's cap. We're going to look at more of this ball game up and coming for you in Pennsbury against Garnet Valley right after this.
Achieving what you want demands the right game plan. When you team up with PNC, you get the tools and know-how you need to get where you want to go. Whether it's buying a new home, sending your kids off to college, or retiring the way you want, PNC is here ready to help you achieve your financial goals. To discover all the ways PNC can help, stop by any branch or visit PNC.com. PNC for the achiever in you. PNC Bank, member FDIC.
Princeton University football, affordable family fun for everyone at one of the nation's finest on-campus football stadiums. Get your 2014 tickets now as the Tigers defend their Ivy League championship. The Tigers set Ivy League records in both scoring offense and total defense in 2013, and 9 All-Ivy selections returned this season, including Quinn Epperly, the reigning Offensive Player of the Year, and named to this year's Walter Payton Award watch list, along with All-Ivy defensive standout Anthony Gaffney. Tickets are on sale now for all 5 home games starting Saturday, September 27th under the lights against Davidson. Ivy League foes Brown, Dartmouth, Penn, and Harvard visit Tiger Stadium in 2014. All single game tickets just $10, and season tickets for all 5 home games only $30. Group and youth tickets also available. For more ticket information, visit GoPrincetonTigers.com. That's GoPrincetonTigers.com. Princeton University football. Affordable family fun for everyone. I'm Merrill Reese to tell you about our good friends at the Revere Ristorante Italiano in nearby Ewing Township at 802 River Road. I can tell you that from South Philadelphia to New York's Mulberry Street, there's no better Italian cuisine than that served at the Revere. Start your meal with one of their great appetizers or salads. Entrees include outstanding veal dishes, fresh seafood daily, excellent steaks and chops, homemade pasta dishes, daily specials, and much more. You can also enjoy their bar area, where on most weekends, entertainment is offered. The Revere also does off-premise catering and can accommodate private parties for any affair, including business functions. Call the Revere Ristorante Italiano for more information and reservations at 609-882-6365. 882-6365. The Revere Ristorante Italiano open Monday through Friday for lunch
and 7 days for dinner at 802 River Road, right off the Wilbertha Road exit on Route 29 in nearby Ewing Township.
Oh, the corner kick's right to Chris. He's got a shot. Oh, no.
It happens fast, so we'll treat you fast. Introducing Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, where you're seen without an appointment by a Rothman Orthopedic specialist. Fast, any day of the week.
Okay. Easy with his leg.
Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care, now in Marlton, New Jersey, with more locations to come. It happens fast, we'll treat you fast. Rothman Orthopedic Urgent Care. See RothmanInstitute.com.
Experience the Volkswagen love by visiting Volkswagen of Langhorne, located at 1862 East Lincoln Highway, minutes away from Interstate 95. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, Volkswagen of Langhorne is located in the heart of Bucks County. As the leader in customer satisfaction in both sales and service departments, they provide the finest automotive experience to you, our neighbors. Visit Volkswagen of Langhorne today to see and drive the latest selection of new and certified pre-owned Volkswagens. Be sure to also take a test drive in some of the newest models available, such as the all-new GTI. Start experiencing Volkswagen of Langhorne today online at vwoflanghorne.com. That's vwoflanghorne.com.
And we're back once again here on the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed, brought to you by ARIA Health, your friends and neighbors here in Bucks County. Coach, let's talk about some of the guys. And you've had a team that brought back from last year, had a lot of guys coming back as we're nearing the playoffs and further into the season as we go. Hopefully it'll be a lot longer. But tell us about some of the things that you have seen and you've liked, and tell us about some of these guys who really, when you come down to it, these seniors who help you, get this team together here at the beginning of the year, and how they're doing here and what their prospects are.
Well, I mean, I think everything starts with the offensive line. I think the offensive line has done a tremendous job. You had 3 returning starters.
Right.
Austin O'Neill, who I mentioned before, Mason Poirier, and also Sam Raywood. So those 3 guys, that's where the whole thing starts. Now, of course, you also have Charles Norway, who's a special type of player who, obviously we saw that the other night.
Yeah.
Who's going to Rutgers, he's part of that as well. Raheem Thompson's been a solid player for us for 2 years, playing wing back and providing sort of a counter to Charlie. A couple senior split ends, Tom Augustin and Cody DeBeek have done a real workmanlike job out there. When we are able to throw them the ball, they've made the catches, and besides that, they did a nice job blocking for us. And then when you go over to the defensive side, your seniors start with Jordan O'Neill, Austin's twin brother, who has done a real nice job playing our Mike linebacker position as a 2-year starter,
right,
and has been a real solid player for us. And of course, our corners on the outside who returned were starters for us last year in Joe Strong and Anthony Pitt. Both guys who've provided a lot of good leadership and played well.
Yeah, and they still, when you take a look, and of course, and the names that you mentioned here, we called them a lot when it comes down to it this past week again, to show you exactly how they've been in there. And I like the way your guys deep have been playing against teams that pass. One of the things this team got away with passing, like you said, your ball club getting a little tired there in the fourth quarter. You could sense that, you could feel that, and they took advantage of that a little bit. But one thing is, when they try to go deep, I tell you, your guys hang on to people nicely. They're right there with them, and they've knocked a few more away this past week.
Right, yeah. No, they again, the fourth quarter, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, all year the guys have done a real nice job, and as evidenced by the fact that we came into the game only averaging 9 points a game. So, but no, all of our seniors have been, not disappointed in any sense. They've played great for us, and they've done exactly what we expected them to do. And you know what? I forgot a very valuable senior, Victor Delgado.
Yeah.
Vic has been a defensive stalwart for us for 2 years, all-league player.
Yeah.
And got a chance to move over to the offensive side this year, and has done a real nice job running the ball, averaging, close to 9 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And again, providing physicality on the offensive side of the ball, blocking and such.
When you look at this game coming up against this Garnet Valley Ball Club, does anything hit you as far as saying, like, to the team, or from what you see, that maybe it would be better if we used the regular wing tee, or Do you think there maybe, it would work better if you used that I formation again? I would imagine during the course of the game, you're going to use a little bit of both. But in any formation out of those two, do you think maybe would suit better against this ball club?
Well, I think that if you look at Garnet Valley, they're going to be real strong in the front eight. They're going to get some decent size. They got some athletic kids. The key is being able to get past that and get a kid like Charlie one-on-one with people in the secondary.
Right.
So that's really the goal here. Is to try to do that. I think there'll be some opportunities, like I said, for Allie for the passing game.
Right.
I think there'll be some opportunities there. I'm not sure about deep, but some intermediate stuff I think will be there. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it should be an interesting ball game. When you get this far, they are going to be good ball clubs. There's no doubt about that. And you get into it where, let's face it, some of the teams that had a lot of good first round wins was the Chesmont League. And Chesmont League is represented by a couple of teams that are going to battle each other, and that would be the top seed in Coatesville. And they'll be taking on Westchester Henderson. Of course, Westchester Ruston is in this group too. They're still alive. And, after the first week of the season, as you took a look at that, Coach, you can see where the Chesmont League has gotten away very well so far this year.
Downingtown East.
Downingtown East, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be good clubs. I've seen a few of them on film. Seen Henderson on film. Seen Coatesville, and both the Downingtowns. I haven't seen Ruston yet, but I know what kind of program they run. They run a real good ball club there too. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now we're just focused on Garnet Valley and trying to get past Garnet Valley, and then deal with the next team after that.
You got that, and we're in for what should be a really good ball game here tonight. Of course, this is the semifinal round that's coming up, the quarterfinals, which will lead to the semifinal round next week. So it's a big ball game coming up for both of these ball clubs. We'll look for the Pennsbury Falcons here at home, having a good crowd once more in here. And of course, there will be the home club, and that's a big help too, for the fact that you won enough ball games to be able to be at home for some of these games rather than have to go on the road. And we'd certainly rather be at home against this Garnet Valley team than have to go down there, that's for sure. That includes us in the media as well. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We're going to head you out to Falcon Field here. I want to let you know that the Galen Snyder Show is brought to you by Aria Health, your friends and neighbors here in Bucks County. I'm Vince Reed. Let's go out to Falcon Field where the Pennsbury Falcons play host to the Jaguars of Garnet Valley.